Hey there, good morning. How's it going? Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Prana surf lesson, massage service, cold drink. Currently 85 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 29 degrees Celsius. Back in beautiful, warm, humid, and amazingly sunny Bali, Indonesia. Look at these beautiful statues. Prama Beach, Canggu. That is where we are. My first time to Canggu. My third time to Bali and to Indonesia. Arrived 2 days ago, so today is my third day, and it has been nice and sunny the whole time. So I really lucked out with the weather, because Bali can certainly be very rainy. So I'm just heading to grab a late breakfast about 11 in the morning here. And in this video, then I wanted to talk a bit about the prices, show how much things are costing in Bali now in 2025. And I am truly amazed that things are still as cheap as they are, despite being so dang popular. So Canggu is one of the sort of newer beach destinations, an alternative to Kuta and Seminyak and all that. So it's more of a backpacker surfer scene over here. And then there are various different other beach spots, which I haven't checked out yet, but likely will in the coming days. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay in Canggu. I will likely head somewhere else after a few days. I shall see. But for now, enjoying it, especially because of that amazing place I've got there. The double level wooden bungalow that is 3 steps from a pool, and that was one of the reasons why I chose that place, is because I like to swim laps, and you can actually swim laps in that pool there. So if you notice the price there, a little more than 50 bucks, then that isn't particularly cheap. That is a bit expensive for Bali, but still Bali is very cheap. All right, this is where I'm going for breakfast, so I will continue this discussion on the other side. So here's the menu. They have a great menu, very varied selection, including international options, great breakfast, but also really good Indonesian food. And so last night I had gado-gado, boiled vegetables, crispy tempeh and tofu, and cashew peanut sauce, boiled egg, and it was really good. And then I also had a chicken quesadilla with that. And so the exchange rate for the Indonesian rupiah versus the US dollar is insane. For $1 US you get 17,000 Indonesian rupiah. And so what that means is that 100,000 rupiah is pretty much exactly $6 US, and 50,000 is $3. So here you have 55K. So that's about $3 for soup, vegetable chicken soup for 65K, a little more than $3. So that gado-gado, which was a huge plate of food, was like $3.50, $4. And keeping in mind, this is like a nice and quite touristy restaurant. And so if you go to a true, local Indonesian restaurant, it's going to be even cheaper. So pastas for, 85K, so that's like $5. Snacks, fries for a little more than $3. Here's the chicken quesadilla, 75K, so like $4.50. And then I just ordered the omelet, trio omelet, 75K, that has a lot in it. 3 eggs, bacon, cheese, onion, paprika, mushroom, side salad, and toasted sourdough. So all that for $4.50. And so my room is expensive, but you get what you pay for, and that is an amazing price for a really, really, really nice room. So when I was checking accommodation here, there were tons of much, much cheaper options. There were lots of nice looking private rooms, private bathroom for $15, $15 US. You don't find that many places these days, including even Thailand. And so I look back on one of my recent visits to Thailand, in which I'd been to Koh Phangan, and remembered that my room there had been very expensive. So it was $79, and that was basically like the cheapest thing that I could find in the right area where I wanted to stay. $79, and up from there. Whereas here, it's similarly touristy, similarly nice, very comparable, and yet that is like 1/5 the price if you can find a decent room for $15. And so I'm really genuinely amazed at how cheap Bali still is, despite having gotten just absolutely, you know, submerged with tourism. We've got some tourists walking past there. And so Bali is still a very good value, and so that was one of the calculations in my deciding to come here now, but there was more. I will talk about that later after breakfast. Oh great, wow, it's the real coconut. Holy moly, this thing is massive. Oh my god, this is like the biggest and heaviest coconuts I've ever had. I did not need this much liquid, but anyways, it's gonna work. So yeah, 35K for fresh coconut. So that's about $2. Drinks do get a little bit expensive. So virgin mojito for 60K, but that is a virgin one, and so that's like $3.50. Beer is 40K, so that's less than $3. And then the cocktails can be a bit expensive, 85K for a margarita, but still, I mean, that's expensive for Indonesia, but that's cheap for anywhere else. So that's $5 for a margarita. All of these drinks, 85K. And then spirits, vodka, 85K. And then up from there, going up to 115, so that's $7 for Jack Daniels. Jägermeister, 85K, that's $5. So drinks are a little bit expensive, but to be expected. So look at that spectacular looking omelet. That looks so delicious. Comes with a slice of good looking bread and a salad with some dressing on it of some sort, it looks like. And then also got a cheesecake. And so here is the price for this really yummy looking brunch. So I'm not sure what that is saying. Join course, something course. Anyways, that is another reason that I decided to come back to Bali, is the various things that are going on. Lots of music, yoga, various, you know, fun, creative events. So that place is called Twin Tide Eatery. And man, that breakfast was one of the best, amazing. That omelet was absolutely delicious, great cheesecake. And I didn't get anywhere near finishing the coconut water, but it was good as well. So the beach is back that way, but I wanted to walk just a little bit further down here and show a few more of the businesses, partly because as you head to the beach, there's this big gap of like no businesses for some reason. I think some sort of a development project going on, but you got massages at a great price. I'm trying to remember how much they are at my hotel, there was a list inside the room. I will put that down below here, how much a 1 hour Balinese massage is. You can't beat those kind of prices, and I prefer the Balinese massage compared to the Thai massage, for example. Okay, Balinese food. Look at all these colorful dishes. So I find the Thai massage to be a little bit rough. They kind of like move you around, move your legs and stuff, and it's still good, but I prefer the Balinese style. From what I remember, I think the last time I had a Balinese massage was when I was here a decade ago. But anyways, you have lots of very cool restaurants and different types of shops. It's very much catering to the Western foreign tourist crowd, but high quality. And so that is one of the advantages, is the quality in Bali is just absolutely top-notch in terms of the food, clothing, really nice looking ladies' dresses there, and the service is as good as it gets. All right, let's get down towards the beach, and then I will talk a little bit more about why I decided to come to Bali of all the places that I could have gone. So where I'm staying is an alley right there, and then I will walk down to the beach, and so you can see that it's fairly close to the beach, but still a bit of a walk. And right up ahead here you have this gap of not much happening. So a few other prices. Here you have a motorbike taxi. The first night that I was here, I arrived in the evening and then decided to walk down and go to a restaurant down by the beach. And so I was planning to walk, and then a motorbike taxi comes along, and I was tired after another intense travel day getting here. And so I asked him how much, and he said, "How much you want to pay?" And so I thought really quick, and I said 20,000. So as I said, $1 17,000 rupiah, and so 20,000 is a little more than $1. And so that was to get me to Canggu beach, which is literally just a 2 or 3 minute motorbike ride, so a very short distance. So I'm not sure what the real price would be if it was a local Indonesian. Probably less than that, especially considering that he immediately accepted my proposal of 20,000, but whatever, that's, you know, $1. And then when I was coming back, then came across another motorbike taxi, and I wanted to get a ride back. I was wiped out, and so asked him how much, and he said 50,000. And then I said, well, I paid 20,000 to the last guy, and he said, okay, 20,000. And so speaking of taxi rides, then from the airport to here, that cost me $26 US. But that is a hour and 20 minute drive. The traffic is insane. So I looked on Google Maps, the distance, and it was like, I think 15 miles. So it took an hour and 20 minutes to go 15 miles because there's no freeway. It's all little streets like this and just jam-packed with traffic. And so $26 for an hour and 20 minutes, comparing to, for example, Greece, where, as I mentioned in my last video, then I had a 30-minute taxi ride that cost 40 euros. That is $45 US. I'm assuming you're hearing the clicking. This is one reason why it might not be the best idea to wear these sandals when I'm vlogging. My other sandals are the Tevas that strap on and don't flap like this. Anyways, 45 bucks for a 30-minute taxi ride in Greece compared to 26 bucks for an hour and 20-minute taxi ride in Bali. And so that is a great price there. So Bali is really just about at India level as far as the prices. I mean, you'll pay easily 20-30 bucks for a room in a lot of places in India these days, and yet $15 for a nice room, nothing fancy but decent room here in ultimate Balinesian beach paradise. So let's take a look at the beach. We got some surfers out there. So speaking of India, oh man, this sand is freaking hot. Holy moly, oh my god, burning my feet. Is it better here? Yes. Whoa. So speaking of India, this is a fun fact that almost everybody knows, but Bali is Hindu. So India, of course, majority Hindu country, and this part of the world was populated by Hindus coming from India long ago. I'm not sure when that might have begun, but thousands of years ago, I believe. Certainly more than 1,000 years ago. And then the Muslims came and conquered and took over and forced out or converted the local Hindu people. But for reasons that I don't know at the moment, then Bali managed to stay Hindu. And so I believe that it is the only Hindu island of Indonesia, except maybe Nusa Penida next to it. Not sure. I know that the Gili Islands are Muslim. Lombok, I've been to, is Muslim. And so basically it's the one Hindu island of Indonesia. It is a particular sect or type of Hinduism that is a bit different from Indian Hinduism, being separated for many centuries, but also many similarities. So up ahead we have what looks like a temple, and apparently there's another nice beach out here. So let's walk over there. So last night I came down here for the sunset, was walking along, I hear somebody, "Hey Gabriel." And so I look up and once again, speaking of India, then Indian guy, viewer of my videos, and he was hanging out with another Indian friend of his, Amar, a guy who has an Instagram account focused on fitness that has over 1 million followers, so congrats to Amar. And then Rohit was the guy who followed my channel. And so sat with them and talked for a while yesterday while watching the sunset. So a very nice scene here. Good beach. It ain't Greece, but nowhere is Greece except Greece. And of course the advantage of some waves is you get surfing potential, not very big waves now. I'm sure that they get bigger at other times, but a very decent spot to take a swim. I haven't gotten in the water here yet. Didn't even bring my swimsuit just now. I swam in the pool this morning. But I thought that I would talk a little bit more about why I decided to come to Bali of all the places that I could have gone next from Greece. I was really all over the map thinking about where to go. And so one place that I was seriously considering was Kyrgyzstan. I've been to Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan in terms of Central Asia, but many more countries to see, especially Mongolia. I think Central Asia is one of the most interesting, most underrated parts of the world, and not very touristy, which is certainly a real draw. But at the same time, I was thinking about it, and even though it sounds super interesting, somebody told me recently that Kyrgyzstan was their favorite country, and I think that now would be a great time to go in October. The weather was still good, fairly warm, cool evenings, and you would get that little bit of a fall experience. But I would be basically the only traveler around. Maybe if you go in, you know, August, I'm sure there will be more tourists, but it was going to be a true, full-on, absolute solo experience, and I just wasn't in the mood for that kind of traveling right now. Partly after the Greek islands were already, you know, very, very quiet, and I was feeling like a more happening scene, being around travelers, having those, you know, good food options and the various things going on, and also kind of taking it easy a bit rather than intense traveling through a foreign land. You know, it was going to be full on trying to figure out buses and long bus rides, and I don't know how much English is spoken in Kyrgyzstan. So I still absolutely really want to go. It's just that you have to be in the right mood for that kind of traveling. And then I was certainly thinking about India again, and I may very well go back to India this fall, so we'll see. But for one thing, I just haven't really spent all that much time in Bali or Indonesia in general, considering how much there is to see here, how nice it is, and the prices. And then the prices were really a major factor. I just really needed to be somewhere cheaper after Europe, and after 2 months off, kind of when I was back in the US, not making many videos, my income took a big hit there. And so cheap was important, but also quality. And so that is one of the amazing things about Bali, is you get amazing options: food, accommodation, transportation, entertainment, sites, beaches, all at rock bottom prices. All right, so I forget what this beach is called. Oh, I think this is Echo Beach. Nice spot. This is really ultimate. You got lots of restaurant options up there, sunbeds. Let's go check out that weird looking statue up there. And I'm sure you can rent surfboards. I did that once in Bali, actually, back in 2014. Just rented it for an hour. Barely stood up once. There you go, surf lesson in progress. So I did some surfing in high school. I am from California, and I came across a surfboard in a thrift store for $15, if I remember correctly. 15 bucks. This would have been like 1987, I think, when I was 15. But the surfboard had a big hole in it, like this big. And so I bought it anyways, and then my dad helped me fill the hole with epoxy glue, which worked. And then I took it out surfing. I bought a wetsuit. Actually, I think I came across the wetsuit first. I forget. Anyways, you need a wetsuit in Northern California. It's very cold. The problem is that I didn't actually live anywhere near the beach. Where I'm from in Mendocino County, Northern California, there's the town of Mendocino over on the coast, right there. But where I'm from, Willett, is 1 hour inland. A very winding road to get there. But I did take it out a few times. I mean, maybe a dozen-ish times altogether, but I think I stood up a couple times, but I never, actually got good at surfing. So look at this really interesting statue. Not certain who that is, if it's maybe Shiva or Krishna, but then an elephant-headed fish. Whoa, never seen that before. I'm assuming it's a Hindu statue. All right, and we got another nice beach. Really nice one. This might be the best of the three that I've seen so far, especially because it's less crowded. Now I could actually swim in these shorts. So going to think about it, might get in there, but didn't bring my GoPro, so can't film it anyways. But that is going to do it for this video for now, other than dinner later. But as I mentioned previously, then the plan here is to kind of slow down, take a little bit of a break, in part because I can afford it. I can work less and still afford it easily, and then some, especially if I move into a cheaper room in a few days. So that is all for now. As you can see, we covered the basics. Accommodation is very, very affordable. Food is very, very affordable and good. Transportation, very, very affordable. Entertainment, massages for nice and cheap. And you can extrapolate from there and figure everything else is pretty cheap as well. Look at this place. So this whole stretch of beach here is really dang nice. So much better than Kuta and Seminyak. That whole area is just so built up, overrun. Here, Sweet Beach, almost empty, and yet accommodation and restaurants right nearby. So that is all for now, but definitely more coming from beautiful Bali. See ya.